Hello and welcome back to OS Racing. You are here with Chris and Ollie.
Let's roll the intro.
So, welcome to InKart Season 3. We're at Milton Keynes and it's round 4. This is the first of 2 heats. And you started in P8 for this one. It's random position, so not a qualifying position.
8 out of 8. So we've started. I haven't had the best start. People are pulling away a bit.
Yeah, it's still there.
I think next time we need to point the camera a bit more up.
Yeah, that's my stupid fault for not pointing it quite in the right direction. I think it's going to be the same. So this is heat 1. There's 2 heats and a race, and if you look in the description or the chapter markers, you can skip to whichever one you want to watch, so you don't have to sit and watch the bits you don't want to. So it's a bit of a miserable day. I mean, the track's dry at the moment, but it had rained not that long beforehand, so it's a bit slippy, right?
Yep. And then it had to rain right in the middle.
So still bunched up here with like the you know, right up to third, sticking with them, but everyone's kind of holding position a bit, looking for an opportunity or a mistake, something, just a chance to get through.
I think I may have him. Just do the switcheroo, and I think I have him.
Well, side by side, let's see if you can hold it. He's going to have the inside line, but he's dropped out. P7, yeah. So that was a good bit of racing, actually. You kind of forced him to have to take the inside line, like a tight inside line, and then you had the opportunity to sneak through. So if you don't watch the Daytona races, the way the heat system works is you do heat 1 and you do heat 2, where you start from random positions, but normally one will be from somewhere near the front and one will be somewhere near the back. And then you got 6 as well. I didn't spot that.
I think someone went in.
Ah, okay, cool.
I'm not sure.
Okay, B6. So yeah, you do the 2 heats, and then you score points for the position in the heat, right? So you know, if you, just like normal. Now, you don't keep those points; they're not for the championship, but the combination of your 2 results and the points determines your qualifying position for the race.
Yep. I just got hit, I think.
Yeah, he kind of tapped you, and then he managed to take the momentum and get through. You side by side with him again, going again for the switch.
I think he's still got me.
He's probably just got you this time, yeah, slightly ahead. He tried to move back over into your space, which was interesting. Like, I don't get what he was doing, but he could have caused himself an accident.
He almost did.
No, he held it well, though, so fair play.
So on the 4th lap, we haven't made that many positions, only 1.
Yeah, it's been quite tough. The times are quite slow, but I think that's because...
It's like half damp, half
yeah.
not.
As we debated whether we would need wetsuit, and I think in the practice session before this you actually wore a wetsuit, right?
And it's actually really fast.
Yeah, maybe we should have left that on. Maybe it was making you more aerodynamic and streamlined.
I think that makes me bigger.
It certainly adds weight, I tell you. So we're just doing speedy time following this guy, not really making progress. Your times are improving, which I guess is the fact that the track is starting to dry up. We just got snuck into the 59s now.
59 was like a good time in this session. Normally it's like a 58.
Yeah, we're not hitting the 58 yet. That's something we need to work towards. We need to work out where you're losing the time. I think it's through turns 2 and 3. I think people pull away from you there. I think you're quicker in turn 10. I think, and I'm no motorsport coach or expert in the skills of driving, so you can take the advice with a pinch of salt, but I think you need to brake harder and later. But you really need to get that late. When you're braking late, you do need to brake harder just before the point you're going to lock the car up. And that's going to give you the most efficient stopping in the shortest amount of time. So we're just coming around. This is coming around to the end of Heat 1.
So I've got 7th. Yep, 7th.
7th, you made one position, so well done Cooper West for first, Max Lindgren comes second, Callum Franklin third, Spencer Wilds got fourth, Freddie Hill was fifth, Harley Vaughan was sixth, and as he said, you got 7th. Arthur Kalich comes in 8th, not quite sure what happened. Did he get pulled in or did he just go wide in turn 11? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, congratulations to all. It was, fairly fun and close race, even if there wasn't that much changing of positions.
So my next race now, I'm starting at first.
Yeah. So
First now.
if you didn't watch Heat 1, then welcome to OS Racing. This is the second heat of Daytona InKart. We're at Milton Keynes, and this is round 4. And if my eyes are not mistaken, it looks like there might be a few drips of rain coming down there, certainly on the lens.
Yeah, it was like raining coming through. Look, they're going to put something up.
Oh no, straight into visor down. It definitely looks like there's the odd spit coming down. Probably not enough at the moment to actually affect the grip levels, but there again, you never know because it cools the tyres down.
I got a pretty slow start, but it could be the tyres because
everyone was the same. But you missed your apex there and allowed 3. Oh, someone just spun there.
I'm in like 2nd, 3rd.
So you're now 3rd. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know exactly what. And up to 2nd because Spencer Wilds just gone slightly wide there and off the track. It was a good start actually. It wasn't bad, like from my point of view.
I went to 2nd and
but in turn
my first apex.
Well, the problem was in turn 2 you didn't protect your inside line. You need to protect that inside line, and especially if you're going to crawl through it slowly like that, you need to cover that inside. And in these conditions, so you shouldn't have gone quite as wide out on that first lap as you did. You went far too wide to then take the normal wide line, but at that point you'd already kind of pointed the car in the car was pointing in the wrong direction, and so then when you went to turn back in, you were never going to make that apex. Oh no, got a bit wide, and we have a yellow, which is probably not surprising because I think it was getting quite slippery out there at this point as well, which is another part of why you missed the apex, I think. So anyway, P2, so we've only dropped one position so far. A P2 and a P7, depending on what other results come in, can be enough to get you in the A final.
And maybe like some people got penalties. Penalties or basically penalties.
Spencer Wilde's just come through on the inside of 6 and 7. See, that's another corner I think you're losing time at. I think through 6 and 7 you have an awful habit of slowing down too much and not hitting the tight inside line. Someone was just on the grass over there, but I think it was a cadet.
So I think Spencer Wilde is now in first.
Yeah, and you're just about to hit the inside through turn 11, and that is P2. Quite a bit of racing in the first couple of laps here. Yeah, you know, regular viewers, of which there are not many, but it's enough, may have noticed actually we didn't do Daytona InKart round 3. If you're wondering why, if you're wondering did I miss something, nope, you're okay, you didn't miss it. We couldn't do it because we were at Clay Pigeon for Club 100 instead. And if you didn't see that video, go watch the Club 100 Clay Pigeon video, because I think that was one of the best results we've had in the Club 100 series.
So the pack's sort of breaking up now, because you can see Spencer Wilde's going a bit forward. I haven't seen that guy for ages now. Not ages, like half a lap.
Yeah, it's really annoying. I got that camera the wrong angle, pointing downwards.
Just a bit up. That could have worked.
We are testing another camera mount. But yeah, there's always there's lots of different thoughts about cameras on helmets and where they should be placed, etc. But we are testing other options for recording to give a better driver eye view. But it's kind of tough, because if you put it too low, then you just see steering wheel. If you put it too high, then you lose sight a little bit here, like this.
We're also trying like put it on the sort of like my jaw, like sort of like it's around the like jaw area, like the camera.
Oh, you just said you hadn't seen him, but he has just come back and got you on the inside of turn 10. And well, the reason he got you on the inside of 10 is and I remember this from the race, is that you took a wet line round turn 10. He decided to try the dry line, realising that the track was a bit dry, and so he very easily swept up your inside. And I think you'll notice this. So your last lap time was a 1:04.5. You took 3 seconds off in the next lap just because you realised the dry line is okay. That is the other trick, is you've got to. In changeable conditions, you've got to be able to know when the track is drying up, and you've got to sort of, I guess, drive around the track feeling for where the grip is. Anyway, so we're on P3 on the track at the moment, but you're keeping up with, I mean, literally, you're in the fight for first still, with they're kind of battling each other. It's quite tough to overtake. These karts are not that powerful in the end. They're not that fast, so it's quite, you got to really sort of get a move or hope someone else makes a mistake, because you just don't have that thing everyone passing a cadet.
Problem is we're trying to race, and then then at the end we start getting to the cadets, and then we start like overtaking them, and then that basically spoils our race.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not as bad as it once was, because the karts are actually about the same speed as the cadets. But if you've had cadets or even juniors that have spun out, then you might catch up to them towards the end. Anyway, we're about to cross the line for Heat 2, so this is your race classification. Now, you might notice actually, Freddie Hill got first, Ollie got second. Now, he was third on the road. I have no idea why, because I can't see anything on the camera, but there might have been something behind. Spencer Wilds unfortunately had a lap disqualification and ended up in 8th. I've literally no idea. So that was the difference between you getting second and third. Harley Vaughan third, Cooper West fourth, Callum Franklin fifth, Arthur Callett sixth, and Max Lindgren was seventh. Now, the interesting thing here is this put you last position in the A final. So here we are, and this is going to be the A final. Now, if it hadn't have been for Spencer Wilde's penalty, you wouldn't have been in the A final. You would have been in
Probably
the B final.
first.
You would have been, like first couple in the B final. So I know, Spencer Wilde, sometimes you watch this. I guess thank you for getting a penalty that no one knows what the penalty was about. But also, man, I feel massively sorry for you. You didn't deserve that, I don't think. Oh, I don't think, unless, as I say, there was something you did behind. I didn't see anything on the camera that you did that deserved like a lap penalty. But that's racing, and I will say that they were very, very graceful in when the penalty was announced, and they just got on with it and raced, which is some great sportsmanship.
I've actually had a pretty good start. I almost got sixth, but back in eighth.
Yeah, it was a good start. Yeah, definitely good start. Like you started definitely improving. You're getting sort of reacting to the change of the light just that little bit quicker. I would say you take too long to warm up. So like the first few corners, you're taking it a little bit too easy, and a lot of the other karters go for it. It looks like we might have a run. Yeah, you gotta be a bit rude and aggressive to a degree. We don't want to create crazy drivers, of course. Like, you know, we want fair racing, but you have got to push it. You can't just sort of, you know, it's not a Sunday drive down the motorway. You can't just sort of flash people in. You've got you've got to go and get the positions. Like, you know, ride with a bit of attitude, I would say. You know, just get the right balance. And it might make a difference. Definitely focusing on the apex. You can get closer to the tyres even in some of these corners, but I think that was Max Lindgren. He's gone wide, and you've managed to just sort of smoothly take that for P7.
It's interesting that I saw he got I think second and sixth, and he managed to get in the A.
Yeah, second and fifth would definitely get you in the A, without a doubt. I mean, you got a second and a seventh, and that's got you in the A. So, but it depends on what the other drivers do. It depends on points. There were 3 other drivers, I think, at this race that had the same number of points as you had. And then Harley Vaughan, for example, I think he had 1 point less, which put him in the B final. So again, who knows, had Spencer Wilde not had his penalty, that could have changed, that could have had a significant impact on the overall order, and other drivers could have made the A final that didn't as well. It's all to do with the points. You get points in the first heat, points in the second heat, and depending what it is what's going to happen. I like the heats because you've got to go and race. You've got to go. It's like the sprint race. We'll have as we're doing the commentary on this, Formula One's at Brazil, and they've got the sprint race today. So it's interesting. Has he done the same thing? And you're gonna take. It looks like he has. It's kind of unfortunately he's just getting that turn 5 slightly wrong and going a bit too wide there, out, allowing people to get through. So we got the sprint race, which then determined the starting position for the actual race itself. But so you got to go racing, you got to fight for positions. But the downside is, if you have any problems, whether it's a mechanical problem with the car or it's a you have a little spin, your own fault, or even worse, as happened to you in some of the heats, you get spun out by someone else's fault, then you have no recovery. You can't. Whereas in the old qualifying system, you could go and put another lap in and just try and smash that decent fast lap. You don't have that recovery in the heat system, which is a bit of a shame.
So I'm trying to get this P6. I haven't, I'm catching up to him. Oh, someone, I think that's Charlie?
I can't remember if it was Charlie or Jacob, but one of the Spreggies was in the tyre wall. And so they've had to red flag the race. Now, this went on for about 5 minutes, so you'll see a quick fade out, and ping, like magic, we have cut it back to the restart. Still in P7. Obviously, no one gains or loses as a result of the red flag.
Except the cadets, really.
Each series kind of does this slightly differently. In Red Flag and Club 100, they'll roll you back round to the start and do a restart. Here they go back to full course yellow, and you'll then go green once everyone's kind of got moving again.
It depends how, for Club 100, it depends how like far it is into the race. If it's like the second lap, it'll be a restart. If it's maybe the 7th, you would like roll round and then a marshal will tell you to stop somewhere.
Yeah, but you do a restart. But if they have to red flag, if they have to actually red flag and stop you on the circuit, it doesn't matter how many laps. If there's a false start, oh, we've got P6 there, by the way. Nice move. So yeah, if there's a false start, you'll get the false start flag and you'll roll back around and restart. But if someone's injured, or they've had to red flag and get the ambulance on the track or something like that, then it's still the same regardless, up to a certain amount of laps. And then if it's right near the end, they'll just call an end to the race if they can't finish it in the time. So if they say there's only 1 lap left or something. But if it's a red flag, they don't start you from where you were. They roll you back round, you do a new rolling start, and then they'll roll you in formation back round to the start-finish line, and then if you get a green light, you go racing again. That's the way the Club 100 do it. And there is no right or wrong of it, just that those are the different... Each series has kind of slightly different rules or regulations, so if you are going to get into karting, it's worth giving them a read so you know what it is that you're going to have to do, what the procedures are, etc.
So I've been quite lonely on the track for these last couple laps.
Yeah, I don't know how far they were ahead. P6. And yeah, actually, I just jumped to P5. I didn't capture it on the video. I think someone got black flagged and came in, so gained a position as you cross the start-finish line on that lap. Can see a few people kind of up ahead. That looks like Cooper West ahead, I think, if my eyes don't deceive me. Hello, Cooper, if you're watching this. Anyway, yeah, I think he's up ahead, but he's some distance up ahead, so I'm not sure how close you might get to him or how many laps we've got. That's the other thing. If you get a red flag on Club 100, because they run the races back to back, you rarely get the time added back on. So it's a red flag and the time continues. You don't get additional time to race. And Daytona have maybe a little bit more gap in their schedule, which means if someone, if they do have a red flag, sometimes they'll give you an extra couple of... It depends what the reason for the red flag is and how long the red flag had to be out for, but Daytona are quite good and they'll try and make sure you get kind of your full race distance.
Yep, so I'm seeing some people around the corner.
Yeah, there's about 3 karts just up at, they're about a corner ahead, basically. Yeah, see there, that corner, you're still understeering a bit. You could add a touch more steering and just really cut that curb. Get closer to the tyres and cut the curb on turn 6, 7, 8.
So I think I'm heading around for my last lap. So I think.
Yeah, there's the checkered flag. Actually, the camera's not too bad for this part, and maybe it fell backwards a bit. Okay, so race classification. Well done, Alfie O'Brien. He's a very good racer. George Balster second, also a very good racer. Well done. Callum Franklin come in third. Cooper West was fourth, who was just ahead of you, so I was right. You got fifth, which is actually a really good result, given, like, I think the heats were a bit hard. Freddie Hill got sixth, Max Lindgren was seventh, and then Jake Butland came home eighth. That is your race classification for the A final.